Welcome to our video about virtual private clouds on IBM Cloud. We're going to start the video by explaining what a virtual private cloud is, how IBM Cloud architects its virtual private clouds, and we're going to wrap up with a lesson about explaining the difference between Generation 1 and Generation 2 virtual public clouds. Let's begin. What is a virtual private cloud? A virtual private cloud is a secure, isolated private cloud hosted within a public cloud. It gives you the security of a private cloud with the cost effectiveness and scalability of a public cloud. It offers an on-demand configurable pool of shared resources allocated within a public cloud environment. There is isolation between users achieved through private IP subnets and encrypted communication channels. In a virtual private cloud, there is a function which authenticates users and provides remote access to the shared resources. This is essentially allowing organizations to work on a virtually private cloud, hence the name. Virtual private clouds provide the necessary infrastructure and isolation as a fully automated solution. Let's explore how VPCs provide customizable networking, security, and private access to data and storage. VPCs allow you to create multiple virtual private clouds in multi-zone regions, create subnets in different zones. Each region has multiple zones. Security groups, which are created to filter each network interface by a virtual server based on IP address. You can create virtual server instances quickly using predefined profiles optimized for your specific workloads. You can use a public gateway to enable communication to the internet for all virtual server instances on the attached subnet. You can also add block storage to your virtual private cloud instance. By default, a 100 GB general purpose block storage volume is created automatically. Let's take a look at a sample architecture for an IBM virtual private cloud. First, when the user connects to the internet and goes to a specific URL, they will need to authenticate to the network. This is the first blue box around our architecture. This will give them a certain predefined access to the network. We can see that the VPC network, which is deployed in a specific zone within a region where there are storage, virtual server instances, gateways, and load balancers, are also hosted. The VPC network has access to many cloud services such as AI, databases, IoT, and container registry. The network also has access to DevOps services, including monitoring, log analysis, and continuous delivery. It's worth noting that right now there are two generation VPC options on IBM Cloud, Generation 1, Generation 2. With Generation 1, it is available in all 6 regions. You have up to 16 gigabits per second networking. With Generation 2, it's available in 5 regions, and you can get networking speeds of up to 80 gigabits per second. Currently, there is only support for a provider-managed security. Up next, we have a short demonstration to show you some highlighted features of VPC on IBM Cloud. The first thing we're going to do in this video is to create a new virtual private cloud. We'll start by giving it a name, selecting the resource group, in this case the default one. To go along with the VPC, we're going to create a new subnet. We're going to go ahead and create it in the Dallas data center, and we're going to give it a few virtual IPs. And we will lastly enable a public gateway. From our subnet view, we can see that we have no resources attached to it. So let's go ahead and create a new instance or a new virtual machine. From this view, we're presented with our usual options when creating a new virtual machine, such as name, location, which is tied to where our VPC is located, and a host image. You can also select between different profiles to give you more or less memory and CPU power. Much like classic virtual machines, you can add an SSH key. Let's go ahead and do that quickly. We're going to go ahead and keep the rest of the options as default and create our virtual machine. And just like that, you can create a virtual machine on a VPC. Let's summarize what we've learned. A virtual private cloud is a secure, isolated private cloud within a public cloud. The IBM Cloud Virtual Private Cloud service is very customizable in terms of networking, security, compute, and storage aspects. Lastly, there is a Generation 1 and Generation 2 virtual private cloud. Generation 1 offers more options for regions and security, but Generation 2 has higher networking speeds and provisioning times.